Welcome back. Now, if you've ever been on BCIT campus near dusk, you've probably witnessed a murder. Of crows, that is. And as Rafferty Baker explains, the roost around Still Creek has many people squawking.
Chair of the Vancouver Avian Research Centre, Derek Matthews loves birds. And like anyone living or working around Still Creek in Burnaby, the bird he sees most is the common crow. A lot of people grumble about the crows, but Matthews is quick to come to their defense.
They get a bad rap for being cast as evil birds. When people say I've got a gang of crows on my building or in my garden, I try and just persuade them not to look at it as a gang of crows, but a family of crows, just like their own family.
But people in this neck of the woods have to put up with a lot more than a family of crows.
Crows congregate in large numbers in winter to sleep in communal roosts. So the Burnaby roost is probably 20,000 birds, something like that.
When this many crows throw a party every night, their neighbors have plenty to complain about.
Having to look down and see a sidewalk full of crow poop is just absolutely makes me despise the crow.
There's a lot of feces that gets dropped, so that's also unsanitary.
Well, that's a dead crow, and why, I don't know. I guess it was ill and just decided to end its life right there.
There is a dead crow hanging in that tree over there. You find them in the parking lot a lot, dead, or in the grassy areas by the trees.
But siding with Matthews, some locals are more understanding of our feathered friends.
Even though they use my car for target practice, I'm just happy we're part of trying to fit in with the ecology right here on Still Creek Drive.
It's probably not their preference to be perched on a building. Their preference is probably to be perched in natural habitat.
So long as development continues in this part of town, the only thing we'll be able to change about the crows is our attitude. Rafferty Baker in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine.
Speaking of birds, Canada's Food Inspection Agency has increased the compensation poultry farmers could receive if they're ordered to cull their birds during disease outbreaks. Farmers can now collect over $22 more for egg-producing chickens and an additional $160 for breeding turkeys. The province says the changes are a reflection of the true market value of poultry. Duck, geese, and pigeons aren't included, but farmer consultations are ongoing. Last week, all the latest cars were in one place here in Vancouver. And of course, I just had to go and check out what was there. The time of year I look most forward to isn't my birthday, it isn't Christmas, it's not even BC Day. No, it's the week of the Vancouver International Auto Show. This year it's being held in the Vancouver Convention Centre because of BC Place's renovation. And I have to say, it's a lot smaller in here. And this year's theme is electric cars. Upstairs, on your way out, you'll pass by an old 1912 Detroit Electric, brought in by the Vancouver Electric Vehicle Association, or VIVA.
Well, it's a mobile showpiece for how good electric can be, how far it's come, where it started, and see where you're going, you gotta see where you started.
And where we are going is somewhere in this direction of the Nissan Leaf, being showcased here by Polar Bear. It's a fully electric car that you can buy for about $40,000. And Ford had their Transit Connect Electric and Focus Electric on display to show what they will be working on in the future. Weirdly, Tesla seems to be absent. But Volkswagen made their national debut of the 2012 Volkswagen Jetta GLI. It's a hotted-up version of the Jetta, which will feature a 2-liter turbocharged engine producing 200 horsepower and starting at $27,000. Expect it this summer. And of course, it's just a great place to fantasize about your dream cars. But for everyone else, it's great that all the cars available on the market are in one place and you can just sit in them and try them on for size, like a shoe store. Now, last week I drove the Mazda MX-5, which was great fun, but with 2 seats and little trunk space, a bit impractical. So what if you need that practicality, but also have that need for speed? Well then, you'll probably need something like this Mazda Speed 3. It's a hot hatch, and basically that means you get space for a family and things in the back, and a missile launcher at the front. It's mind-numbingly fast. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour comes in after only 6.1 seconds, and then it continues to sail up to a limited top speed of 250.
That's limited to 250, meaning it could go faster.
It's why Brian Fong and his girlfriend bought one.
The power. It definitely has a lot of power. Well, this car, you know, you step on it, you hold on for dear life, and you're going. But every time you do it, it's just this awesome rush of power, and the feeling is quite addictive, actually.
Brian is an avid car nut. He autocrosses, so he likes fast cars. Plus, he knows how to handle them. And so they decided on buying an older one.
It is the looks. It is not the best looking car, the new version. The inside of the new one is quite a bit nicer. It's much more upscale.
I have to agree with Brian. The new one's just too organic. There's so many odd angles and protrusions.
And then there is this grille. Now, I hate the cheesy smiley grills on the regular Mazda 3, and it's on here as well, but this isn't a smile from awkward family photos. No, this is a smile a psychopath makes before he tries and kills you.
The missile launcher is a 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, and it produces 263 horsepower. That makes it fast, but it also produces a bit of a problem.
See, the Mazda Speed 3 is a front-wheel drive car, and many in the industry agree that the absolute limit, power limit for a front-wheel drive car is 220 horsepower.
With 40 more, that's asking a lot from the front wheels.
So hold on to your hats, everyone, because when you hit the gas and the turbos kick in at 3,000 RPM, you get a mountain of torque which wrenches the steering wheel from your hands.
It's a phenomenon called torque steer, and put simply, it's caused by the fact the front wheels have to stop and steer, plus handle 280 pound-feet of turbo-y torque.
This thing is an absolute menace. I was driving on a rural road the other day and nobody was there, and I could just hear the car in the back of my head saying, push the gas a bit harder, go a bit faster, you know I can handle it. I'm serious, this thing is trying to kill me.
Apart from a relatively heavy clutch, it's pretty easy to drive in traffic. And on a backcountry road like this one, it's pretty fun.
But it's fun in the same way that skydiving or swimming with sharks is fun. You know, where there's a really solid chance it may end in death.
Really, this is just a muscle car. An old Mazda 3 stiffened up a bit and immensely fast. And because of its Turbo 4 gas mileage isn't too bad. I averaged about 9 liters per 100 kilometers, albeit with premium fuel. Prices also start at around $30,000 and only go up by $3,000 with the technology package.
If I were looking for a hot hatch, this isn't the one I'd buy. It's just too crazy and bonkers for me. A 207 horsepower Volkswagen GTI would do me fine. But if you're a family man and you like muscle cars, I think this is the compromise for you. For Horstpower on BCIT Magazine, I'm Jonathan Horst.
Welcome to Community Calendar. I'm Keenan Kipp. Mark Wednesday, April 6th on your calendar for a very important birthday party. The city of Vancouver is turning 125. The celebrations will take place at Jack Pool Plaza right by the Olympic Cauldron and will include a ball hockey tournament, live music, DJs, street art, and of course, a really big birthday cake. Cavalia continues to wow audiences at the Olympic Village site. The equestrian show, which combines live music, dance, acrobatics, and over 60 horses, has shows daily with matinees on the weekends and runs until April 17th. This week marks the start of the Kitsilano's Farmers Market. Every week, the parking lot of the Kits Community Center fills with organic produce, meat and cheese, tasty baked goods, beautiful crafts, and musical entertainment. The kids can enjoy the park nearby while mom and dad stock up on delicious food. For Community Calendar, I'm Keenan Kipp. Coming up on BCIT Magazine, we have highlights from the BCIHL playoffs.
And we meet the only girl in the Intramural Floor Hockey League.